different light. Maybe this manic, crazy style of play is something that can work. On Nuke, however, nah. If they manage to win Nuke, I'm gonna be like calling up some sort of like investigative authorities to try and check this game out, because I just will not believe that ViCi could have lost this map.
Yeah, I could be thinking the coaches are playing the Cypher for once. But yeah, like, I completely agree. 100% with you on that one. The reality is ViCi only have the weakness really of having Advent. Like that he is the only downside to this roster.
And that's only on skill as well. That's not like, I don't want to sit here and be like, oh, you know, Hunden was actually really bad at counter. It's like, no, he wasn't. He was a fantastic in-game leader. I remember
hearing certain people on an analyst desk actually say that Hunden didn't belong playing Counter-Strike. Like, oh, why would he even play? They're morons, is what they are. People that don't understand that it's about CS is about shooting, and if you don't shoot, you're bad. No, it's not all about headshots. There's more to the game, and unfortunately, even people in the talent industry don't understand that. But the reality is, you know, someone like Advent, he brings a lot to the table. What I would love, and what I've always seen is kind of I suppose there's an argument to each side, but I think that having coaches being able to speak only in freeze time has taken away from what we have in the game, because it's forced us into this area where you look at players like Gabi, like Advent, like Hunden, minus the things recently. It is good to have those players in a role where they can sit back in IGL without having to play, because basically what you're doing is you're handicapping a player. You're putting them in a position where they can't fully focus on their gameplay. And I agree that that brings more skill, and it's a role that's very, very hard to be good at. And that's impressive. But to me, I would prefer, let's say ViCi, right? Take Advent out of that role, put in someone like Ronan, baby, and then let these guys just go ham with Advent IGLing sitting back, because that would elevate the tactics in a game, because now he doesn't have to focus on his position, his rotations, yada, yada. He can sit back and focus on the game and on what the team are doing. And you get one player that's highly skilled extra added into the game who can just dominate those aim duels. To me, that's a much more fun kind of Counter-Strike, you know? I can certainly see the argument for the other side as well, though.
The only thing I would say is, like, if anything, now would be that perfect time to try and train the next like brand of IGLs, because he can, if he was to move into a coach role, which I'm not saying he necessarily should, it might work for them, but it seems like he's already done it here, as he hasn't actually done the server yet. But you could legitimately add in that young player, say pick someone else, like maybe, well, it's actually Orman who's not here, but you could get maybe Orman to do it, where you train him or you teach him what you're doing, stay as the coach to make new and adaptive strategies, and then you get that with also the ability right now, while they're in a teething period, for him to still talk. Because obviously in online play, there's no way that you're limiting coaches to freeze time, because it's not possible. You'd have to be inside their room to be able to limit them from talking to people. And some people be like, why don't you just sit in the TeamSpeak? Well, there are other brands of software available for talking to people. So, and also you could give an unfair advantage to teams in a team house who could just take off one earphone and listen for a bit. So it right now it gives a possibility for you to train a new in-game leader. While he might not be the best individually. Now, as said, I'm not saying that that's necessary right now. They're playing very well, and sure, he's not going to be the star fragger, but he's still doing a decent job. I don't think that's necessary right now, but it would be the perfect time if they were going to try and do it.
Like, look, Advent's got a 0.9 HLTV rating. It's not like this guy's getting 3 kills per game. So we're just using him as an example. We're not saying like, oh, Advent needs to go, he's got to get off this roster.
Yeah, exactly.
No, absolutely not. Advent's a great player. But all I'm saying is that when you've got these people that could, because it's so hard to juggle what you're doing. Like me, Tom, I've played Counter-Strike a long time. I've played competitive FPS games for a long, long time, all the way back to Halo 2 and Halo 1. Now, I still find it hard. I don't know if you get this or if it's just unique to me. I still find it hard to communicate while I'm in a gunfight. Like, calling while I'm fighting, I get so focused on the fight itself that I get choked up.
I think my biggest weakness, which obviously I can't repeat exactly what I say. My biggest weakness is swearing before I give information.
Yeah.
If I die. Because I'll be like, oh, I need Dinko's beep button. And then I go, he's long, which
Yeah.
obviously that second could make a big difference to teammates. But that's just I'm British, so it's in our blood to be
Yeah. Well,
toxic.
of course.
I try my best to hold it in, but unfortunately, every once in a while, it slips out. I can admit that. Uh, but yeah, that's probably my thing. I think I'm not bad at communicating while I'm playing, but at the same time, I'm also someone where if people don't listen, I just shut up.
Yeah.
I'm just like, just focus on my own game. They're not wasting my time. So I can definitely see like within a team strategy game, obviously that's one of the biggest skills that we sort of have within Counter Strike that sort of beats out a lot of solo games or individual games that we talk about where communication isn't always going to be key. You just have to look at what you're doing. This game, that's not possible. And I think that's why, these sort of 5v5 FPS games are my favorite, is because you're not just going to be rewarded for being the best individual player. Like, it's obviously a big part of things. But take, for example, Simple. Simple has been one of the best individual talents for a long time, like maybe 5+ years. Like, he was playing in Flipside. There was no doubt individually he was one of the most skilled players in the world. Was he the best player in the world at the time? No, because he would make stupid decisions. Like, he would go like running in with a deagle. He would buy, for example, when he shouldn't. He would ignore Blade. Over the last few years, he has developed his communication, his individual skill, along with the fact that he communicates better and doesn't make as many silly mistakes. That's why he's now the best player in the world. So I like the fact that you can see these young talents, like, for example, Ronan, who right now is making those same stupid mistakes that we see the likes of Simple do in the past. I think Zai was the one sort of exception, or maybe someone like Brolin as well, where you kind of look at them and go, you're so young and you're not really making those mistakes. But I think that's also because of who they played under. Like Zaiwu, when he came into at least a top professional team, he was playing under Alex, who I think is a truly fantastic in-game leader. I can't wait to see that Cloud9 roster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, once we see the full Cloud9 roster in action, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure. Obviously, we are just having a little bit of tech issues while we wait for Alma to get on, but I've heard he'll be back in just a little minute, thankfully. So we won't be here for too long. But yeah, when I look into the oh, look, he's here already. He's back. He's ready to roll.
Nice.
Yeah, I for me, I've always wanted them to bring it back over to the ability for a coach to talk all the time. And I mean, obviously, with what we found out has been happening since 2015, quite good. They didn't.
Forza, not Forza. Hardly would have been the best team in the world. It's like, and they beat Astralis in the major final. Their coach was talking the entire game. Either way, let's get into the pistol round. Zoking, Jam Young, running riot. Exactly what we expected. A fast play towards the ramp. They have already dominated in this pistol round, and they've gone for a CZ raid boss.
Yeah.
That is interesting. I don't like it.
On Sakai as well. Interesting. Probably not the player I would point out. Probably the one player I would point out as not being the individually skilled guy on the team, but well, he's been shot in the side of the head, so he's gone. So it's all
money
down to Marek.
Well spent.
Absolutely. Good investment. So
like me opening cases.
That's gotten
not the same success rate.
That's gotten worse return than the I was watching a thing recently, like movie breakdown analysis, and there was a movie, it was like $130 million and it made like 10 million or something like that. Not profit. How? Like that's all the intake they got from sales.
How?
Oh, I can't remember what it was. Damn it. It was like one of the biggest flops ever. It's mad when you see that kind of thing happen. Like, but there's some seriously good movies that have just fallen by the wayside as well. That like no one.
Yeah, but most of them still at least make
Pacific Rim, dude. That's one of them. Like that movie's actually really good, and it just flopped like crazy. I remember I even wanted to go see it. My friends didn't.
It's got a crappy name.
This is it. Even the marketing was kind of bad for it as well. Like they did everything the wrong way.
It should have called it like Big Robot.
Big Robot Fight. Like it's got John Boyega. It's a sick movie. It's a Guillermo del Toro movie. Like they're always banging.
I'm a big fan of John Boyega.
Yeah, he's sick.
Either way, we are seeing a force buy come in. Lots of rifles for ViCi. So, You talk about the amount of SMGs we saw coming in for Invictus. That's what I would call the cocky buy. This is a relatively safe one. Now, Orman, he has been dinked up. I would like there to be a world where Jamyong ends up potentially with the rifle, but it depends how they're going to play this. If Jamyong plans to get aggressive and try and clean up some of these weapons, fair enough, keep the MAC-10. If not, maybe juggle that around. Jamyong is somewhat hunting here and just about gets away with that one. And, ooh, Orman goes down. But that's actually fine. As long as they retrieve this rifle, it's not a problem. And Wang is already saving. So they're doing a very good job of keeping these rounds clean. All the weaponry restored as well. For the CT side, yeah, not really going to be too much here. Oh. There's no need for this. They really want to kill him. He's only got a scout.
Dude, so actually, Pacific Rim made profit. I was just looking it up.
Yeah, that's
quickly.
what I was gonna say. I was like,
411 million.
Most movies make like at least some profit, but a flop would still only be making a bit of profit because obviously you're making a movie. Like it's expected to make a hell of a lot of money.
They made like 60 million off it out of a like 150 million budget. Like apparently it cost 350 million total. And they made 400.
That would still be, that would still be considered a flop.
Yeah.
Considering who's in the movie and whatever. But like, obviously, like, because that's the thing. If 10 million sounds a lot, but when it's a movie, that's really not much.
If you've invested 350 million, you get 60 back. You're gonna be like, bro, really? That was a big risk. You could have lost a lot of money on it.
Oh. Okay. Bingo's got a Zeus kill. Wang's found one with a scout. You retreat the AK for at least a second. They've made this one costly at least, but obviously, as said, the T's have done a relatively good job over the last couple of rounds. If they drop one more player, this is a very good round. It's already all right for the side of Beyond, but Oi, I don't really see a way he gets out of this. And well, so King will be there to put him down. So they've got a couple of kills over the last round, but realistically, money is now very good for ViCi. They're on the T side of this map, where we saw how dominant their CT side ended up being when they played previously versus Invictus. And, well, although I am not really singing the praises of Invictus today, they are much better than After Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. And the reality is, ViCi T side here, they should just be wrecking face. I don't really see a lot of room to get into this series when you're looking over towards after. As we even mentioned when it came down to maps, there's nothing. Like, there really is essentially nothing that looks good for them. You would sit here and go, oh, they'll probably win that map, or it's a solid start. And you can see immediately they're just getting absolutely wrecked. All these duels going in towards ViCi outside control in their favor. Sakai falls down to Omen, and at this point they should be able to get into the A site pretty much for free. Bingo's just stuck behind a smoke. Oh, but he's ready for Jamyong. Oh, he still gets it. The timing was so terrible. Whoa. He even connects a headshot onto Alman. He was out of ammo in his M4 and didn't want to reload, cautious that someone else coming up through heaven. Well, no, actually, because Oi was down below. I suppose they still could have. That's unfortunate. And that headshot connected to Alman. If it was a P250, it could have been easy. By the way, I just took a look because I knew there was something. There was a movie recently. Did you see the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ages ago, 2016? They brought it out.
The first or the second one? There was two.
Out of the Shadows. I don't know what one that is.
The one with Megan Fox in it, right?
I have no idea. I haven't seen them, but it lost $80 million.
Oh, damn.
And Hellboy, the 2019 remake with Ron Perlman. No, wait, without Ron Perlman. The other guy came in. It lost 40 million.
That. Yeah, that's not surprising. That was not a great film.
Yeah. The other two Hellboys are the old ones. They're banging. Great movies.
Yeah. The originals were great.
Ron Perlman's sick.
Replaced an actor that people liked.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah. No one's original anymore. People just like remaking stuff.
Oh, also one more thing. Tomorrowland. I don't know if you saw that ages ago. It was like marketed like crazy. Lost up to 160 million.
Jesus.
Damn. That's a lot of money, man. I'm just getting sucked into this now. How many How many of these oh my god, some of these are terrible, like 150 plus. Someone got fired over that.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Oh, once again, we're down to pistols for After Gaming. Not been going great. They managed to retrieve an AK onto Bingo, but in the meantime, they've lost another player. The bomb's been planted. They don't have a kit. They don't have any utility. They do, however, find a kill onto Kaze. They need to try and pick these apart. Bingo, this is a nice round from him. That's 3 kills already. Flashbang's going to slow them down, and they really don't have time to waste. They've got to clear this man off the site, and they will do. It's left onto Zoking, and he's going to go down as well. I think they've just about got this, yeah? Actually, with plenty of time left on the clock. That is a big slip up from ViCi. That should have been a really easy round. Instead, that 1 AK slipping into the hands of Bingo, and he explodes with their first round on the board.
Awesome stuff. Actually getting around for After Gaming straight away. Boom. They've got a chance. But they've got to follow up, really. Like, look at the investment. It's going to cripple their economy quite a bit. Wang's taking out the AWP to look to do a little bit of damage, presumably towards outside. By the way, Tom, I found out what movie I was thinking of. Found it. The, what I'm saying, a bigger flop than Boom. Mortal Engines. See that one? It's
no, but I was thinking about it.
It's by a very famous author, the book. I think it was Tolkien wrote it. No. So I'm not sure. It was. I'm sure someone can correct me on that. Philip Reeve, I think. Really famous book, anyways, and it's the biggest flop of all time. Lost 178 million. So
when did that come out?
It was like 2019. I thought 2018. Yeah, massive flop. So that's what I was thinking of. It's like a lot of more recent movies are up there. Like The Lone Ranger, that was sick. Lost nearly 200 million potentially. Ends in inflation. Mental. Oh, Bingo.
Oh dear.
Unfortunate.
That's gone very badly wrong for Bingo. But Marek has traded things back, and with the amount of damage they've done to the players of ViCi, this is looking possible. Kaze finally has his AWP in play. Well, with 2 quick kills coming back, it's left onto Kaze. Bomb down. Don't really need to fight this one. They've got the 2 versus 1 already. If he can retrieve the bomb, he could go back to the A site if he wanted to be a little bit cheeky, and it seems like he might. As there's nobody currently on that site, he'll be able to get an after-plant position. We all know what this man can do with the AWP. Sort of mentioned that as of recent, we've been looking more at Jam Young than Kaze, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I can't tell if he's just overplayed this, though. I think he has. Oh, maybe not. Oh, if they just gone rotating, he might have... Oh, you jammy. Well, Kaze, not Jam Young. He's going to get the bomb down, and they're rotating towards the A site. And the thing is, for a little while, they still won't hear that this is on B. So this is going to waste an awful lot of time. Now, the remaining 2 players don't have a kit. I imagine there is one down somewhere, but he's managed to waste about 15 seconds with them not even coming in his direction. They're finally going to make the rotation around to the door. First shot landed. That's all he needed. 20 seconds left, and he can hear Wang rotating around. The bomb's going to be tapped. He finds the kick. Kaze, that was played to perfection. I thought he'd overthought it a little bit there with the rotation back towards the B side, but turns out he is the big brain man.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I got to say, Kaze blowing me away with that, and 5-1. It's a really depressing scenario for After. As I said, that was a round they really needed to take. And with that one falling by the wayside, you're really in this position where I don't quite know where they're going to be at, you know, mentality-wise. I see they've actually gone in for an investment still, able to afford that up on Wang, but it's gone straight away. He gets 1 kill to Zoking at least before falling. Well, that AWP is irretrievable. It's out in garage, and these guys cannot physically cross to it at this point. They've lost control over outside, and that is a massive... Like, you'll think, oh, well, at least he got a kill, right? But no, it's a massive loss to take straight away. Because it's not only just that, obviously, it's a 4v4, and that it's now harder to defend the whole map. It's the loss of information. So you have to have a player in secret. You have to. And ViCi know that. With that, your player hasn't got the element of surprise. If they go down secret, they 100% know he's there. Plus, they have the ability to quickly rotate in through ramp or heaven. Like, the map is completely open for them now. Really, if I'm after, I need to take some aggressive plays. And you can see that's actually what Oi is doing. He's got a teammate coming with him to pinch into team main. Why is Marek pushing? You know they're not in team main. They're going to be coming here. This is a very aggressive play, and he gets punished. I don't get it. Tom, they knew that they had to become in secret, right?
Sure, let's just move on and see what Bingo's going to do, because he managed a 4K in a round or two ago. Sakai is gone. He's been caught by Orman. Jamyoung's sneaking his way down the ramp. Is Oi going to be ready for this? Nope. And I feel like that's now 3 duels in a row where a player is not ready for someone to be there. You spoke about rounds where communication just isn't happening at all. This looks like one of them. Bomb. Oh, that's a bit awkward, but luckily there was a second player there. Jamyoung will pad his stats, and I'm sure Advent probably not too happy about that one. But nonetheless, it is 6-1. They're on the T side. And yeah, After Gaming are kind of living up to the reputation they've built so far.
So here's the thing. You push into team main, one player through HUD itself, another through round. You see these guys are not there. The immediate reaction should be to drop down vents and play with Marek towards secret. So you've got a crossfire when they do decide to push forward. The secret guy, the guy in vents, takes contact, and oh, they're not even watching. Bingo comes out with a deagle and almost gets a double. Luckily, they shut him down and his teammate on the side after. Yeah, it is as simple, like, these protocols on the CT side, you need to know when you get set information how to react to it. And at the moment, you can see After do not have that. This was a very every man for himself. Oh, they're not in team main, so Marek pushes up secret kind of affair. I don't like it.
This round is getting scary. The same as last time. In these eco rounds, they get aggressive and they manage to take themselves some serious control. Zoking and Jamyoung both low, but they don't check Jamyoung. Even after the first kill comes in. It's very costly, again, and ViCi over the last few rounds really haven't made any money. But it doesn't matter. They've got 7 rounds on the T side. Like, even if they were to lose every single round, which, I'll be honest, Mitch, I don't think they will. But if that happens, they have still had a good T side of Nuke.
Yep. You could see the pressure that ViCi applied, though, not in the previous round, but the one before. We were talking about the outside control and that real vat of information it leaves behind, and you saw the absence of it is what caused them to make those weird decisions to push up. They're not quite capable of making those reactive plays to the map control that they lose or gain. And that's what ViCi are looking to exploit with this aggressive smoke play. Smokes into heaven and outside to stop these players from being able to gain any information on what's going on. It makes it much harder to call for what needs to be a rotate down to the B site. There is one in secret and one close, and it's the player close that might catch them off guard. But, oh my word, Zoking and Advent were both covering that as Jamyoung took a nade out. He jumped to the side, 2 players still staring. That was so unfortunate for Oi, but he is now being punished, and although the rotates come down towards this site, they won't be able to deny this bomb plant.
Oh, okay. Zoking has gone down. Jamyoung is just so good. The reposition makes it more awkward for Bingo, and he's coming under pressure. He does go down. His teammates a little bit further behind. As we are seeing the rotation from Orman, Kaze's already managed to make it into position. Again, the time is ticking, and that's been one of the biggest threats to this Beyond roster is the fact that they've run out of time. Good positioning from Kaze, looking for the final man, and he's just not been missing. 9-4, alongside Jamyoung, 12-4, and it's not like they have a poor performer on their side either. Whereas on the other side, wow, Sakai's not having a good day, Oi's not having a good day, and well, a few big plays, and we could have actually seen this be a lot closer, because these rounds from ViCi have not been clean. Now, as we sort of mentioned, I don't think they're delving into their strat book whatsoever. This is the bare basics of let's just rush towards the B site, and it really won't be that hard because they can't defend outside.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is...
Or ramp, or vent.
So this is ViCi, yeah. As you said, they've really sniffed out the weakness immediately of After. As soon as they lose outside, there's practically nothing they can do. And the best that we've seen from After so far has been that one-for-one trade. But the map control that they lose because of it is just insane. ViCi gets such an advantage against any team, but especially against a team that aren't so comfortable.
No.
Alman's able to take a quick double. He's 10 HP, but should be able to get to T-spawn. Tuck away with this rifle. And at this, you have to acknowledge the TZ economy is quite bad. Like, ViCi are in a spot where losing a round could cost them because they are getting punished in a lot of these aim duels. The reality is that a lot of the time it is these 1v1s or 2v2s that are being won out by ViCi. And okay, you can say, oh, the rounds have been close, yada yada, but if ViCi are winning every single clutch, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like 9-6 as a half, but all the rounds were close. Well, that doesn't get a map win for you.
Well, that's the thing as well. And I feel like once it gets down to a clutch situation, that's where you see the ViCi players actually switch on. Like the round that Kaze played was played to perfection. Like he made it so that they did exactly what he wanted them to do, which it just shows the caliber of players are on a different level. Like it's not even close. And when we see some of these rounds, like they go for a faster play outside, they get the bomb down, they have a lurker, and every single person wins their duel, every single person does their job. And sure, in some of these pistol rounds, they've been caught off by aggression from ramp, for example. But all of the positions where they've been caught off is when the bomb's down. Like they've got the bomb down successfully pretty much every single round. It's just been, oh, okay, we push a little bit too much in our after plant positions once the round's pretty much done. So although they're not making a huge amount of money, the rounds are not that close. It's just that in the last 20 seconds, they push a little bit too much.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like it is getting incredibly tight. It's not like ViCi are under threat. They're definitely looking like the more solid side, as you're saying. Just a slight overextension, but that is due to just the confidence that they've gotten. Look at that. Glock kills even coming in. You've got ViCi up on 9-1, and it's looking like we're going to see a 10th. These buy rounds, they're not even close, as you said, Tom. This is you gotta shield the eyes of the children. Don't let them see it.
Well, okay. Zoking killing everyone in this round. Second time's the charm for Oi, getting up the ladder. We haven't seen any of these go their way so far. The bomb's actually going down on B, by the way. So, he's just going to save? Yep. Not even going to give this one a go. I feel like at this point, I wouldn't even have minded if he did. Like, you're 10-1 down. Your opponent's on the T side, so realistically, the chance of you coming back in this game are probably close to 0. I don't know if you want to get your little stat sheet up, but I imagine it's very close to 0 at this point.
Yeah, you also have to take context into consideration of who these teams are. And yeah. I guarantee whatever the statistics are for a team coming back at this point, it is far more one-sided when you look at the fact that it's ViCi versus After. Like, if this was ViCi 10-1 down, they'd have an okay chance of coming back into it when they swap to the CT side. But because they're T side, they have this much of an advantage. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? I'd be very, very shocked.
Well, here we go again. It's another buy round. Still, it is amazing how they're 10-1 down, and Marek came into this round with 1 flashbang. Sakai came in with no utility. Like, it's just money mismanagement at this point, if they're not able to get proper buys on the board. Also, it's something we mentioned earlier in the day when watching Nuke, that realistically, you'd be better off going not for a rifle and picking up extra utility than just investing into the rifles just to have a rifle. Like, it doesn't really work for you. You're not going to slop it or stop any fast pushes. Oi, on the other hand, has invested a fair bit into utility, but realistically, it's only going to slow them down so much. Wang has been tagged to just 16 HP, so he can't fight the ramp anymore. And this means that basically, Oi has to get a multi-frag. That's the only way they win this round, and he switches off his gun the second they start pushing. So, yeah, now it's going to be an afterplant once again, and as we've said, pretty much, they haven't lost any of these. Zoking's already going to find another kill onto Marek as well. And, okay, there should be someone defending the bomb, but luckily, it doesn't actually cause any problems.
Well, we have seen quite an interesting turn of affairs, Wang picks up one. He's out. He's bailing. And I guess at the end of the day, this is what we expected. But, well, no. At the end of the day, we expect ViCi to win. But this is even a little bit more so. This is exaggerated. Like an 11-1 scoreline, T side of Nuke. Yeah, it speaks for itself. It really does. I don't think there's anyone watching this, Tom, that's going, ooh, 11-1. Is that good for after? Is this map that T-sided, is it? No, I think everybody can look at this on the surface level and realize that after getting bodied, and even just the confidence of ViCi at the moment is on display when it comes down to post plants and even early round. They're giving away a lot of opportunities. Like, we talk about ViCi as a tight squad, and you can see that they're not playing as tight as they have in the past. But I can't fault them for it, because we know that they're capable. We know that they're not a team that will throw away these advantages completely. It's just that at the moment, they don't need to play super tight when it comes down to the late rounds, because, look, they just run outside and kill everyone, so you're not really going to be able to take it super serious, are you?
Well, yeah, there's not really much point. I think they already know at this stage they've already won the game. They can get the bomb down on either site whenever they want. They can take any portion of the map whenever they want. They're just a better team. It's not really much else to say about it. Like, again, they've gone towards the B site, but they've also found 3 openers along the way. Orman has been able to cut off rotations as a solo man for the majority of the match. Like, any aggression towards him normally involves a minimum of a trade, and over the last few rounds, he's been getting more than one. Jam Young, when called upon, has been fantastic. We're seeing save after save. Now, I can't really blame After for these saves, because most of these situations are seemingly impossible. But at the same time, if you're saving weaponry every single round, something's going wrong. And in this round, I don't even think it's going to be allowed. There's enough money at this point they can try and hunt down. It will be Jam Young to fall at least, but the rest of the team are looking to try and push him. Oi has a hell of a lot of utility. He's going to try and use it just to stay alive. Flashbang into the corner. And he sprayed through Advent. Oh, not quite. And she goes down. So that's something. A FAMAS save in to round number 14 when you're 12 on down.
It is something. It's one of the better rounds for After so far, you could say. But that's still not good. Still pretty bad. Again, like, we there's not a lot you can really say when you look over towards the After side. This game is just an absolute stomp, and I feel like we probably bring more value talking about movie flops, because there's at least some content there. ViCi are just, they're a better team. We know that. Everybody knows that. What's your favorite movie, Twitch chat? Tom, would you say do you know an underrated movie? Is there any movie you've ever watched and thought, damn, this was actually quite good? You're very
I really
pessimistic.
like the movie. I like the movie Click with Adam Sandler.
That's a good movie. I don't know if it's underrated, is it?
Not in particular. Oh, that was a nice shot from Wang. I wouldn't say it's underrated, but it's one of my favorite films. So I just thought I'd mention that one.
The message is good.
It makes me laugh because it's really stupid, but at the end it's quite sad, which is unusual for an Adam Sandler film. I feel like he tries to add messages into a lot of them, but most of the time they don't really hit home. Whereas that one did. I rate that film.
50 First Dates was pretty sad as well, right? I can't remember the ending, but I just remember it being sad.
Memorable, was it?
Well, I was a kid when I watched it, so I don't know. It was one of those things just for long trips in the car, portable DVD player. Whack on an Adam Sandler movie, but yeah, this honestly, yeah, there's just nothing to say. There really isn't. Like we've said it all. ViCi are good. They're getting map control. They're winning these opening duels. After look uncomfortable, they don't have the reactions to the map control that they're getting whenever they do get map control, which in itself is a bit of a rarity. Anything to add there, Tom? I don't think there is, but Maybe you can think of something.
No, I think they're about to be pummeled once again. I hope Dinko's ready. I hope he's had the time to prepare for this next segment.
I don't know. His ritual is probably still ongoing, to be honest.
Hope Blair has had time to comb his hair and all that good stuff. And yeah, 14-1. Absolutely dominant. They didn't break a sweat throughout that. Like, I think the hardest rounds they have were versus pistols and aggressive pushes. You've seen Jam Young just destroy Kaze, Zoking having a field day. And that's not even mentioning Orman, who was basically cutting off every single rotation they attempted the entire match. So, yeah, that's one of the most dominant halves I've ever watched. The fact that they even lost a round is surprising. They didn't really deserve to. That was almost flawless from them. So, yeah, thoroughly impressed with ViCi. It's what we wanted to see. As I said, if they're going to be a team to challenge the likes of Tyloo like they did earlier, they need to be dominating these sort of matches. And they're not the sort of team to sort of take this lightly. And I rate that. Though we've mentioned the quote many a time about if you play these sort of matches and you practice poorly, then you're going to end up playing poorly as well. And realistically, they're not doing that. They've invested into Dual Beretta. Zoking has brought them in. There's been a few teams doing that. They haven't gone for the Julies in a kit, though, which is a bit disappointing. This round's actually going a little bit better. We might be about to see a second round onto the board. Kaze low. Advent. They push in from behind. You don't see many players playing the P2K, do we? But there's both Advent and Kaze running it in this game.
Yeah, it's usually the USPs, regardless of region, really. Just a heavy preference.
Oh, no. No. They don't have the kit currently, and oh, they don't even need it. Oh, I thought they were finally going to get around.
No such luck.
Shoot his teammate.
Just one of those games, Tom. It's just one of those games. I'm glad we made the point so clearly, because sometimes you can be tempted to be a little too generous to teams, and I'm glad we didn't kind of undersell ViCi in this one.
Romanticize it.
Well, no, for the simple reason that I think you can't come in here with the expectation that, like, when after get 15-1 down, you're like, oh, noobs, they've thrown this away. Like, no, this is what should have happened. Like, this is the reasonable expectation to have from this series, because ViCi or ViCi, you know.
All right, come on, Jam Young. Come on, Jam Young. We want some XM magic. That is what I am here for. You need at least a kill, preferably 2. If you get all 3, I'm impressed. That's what I'm looking at. They're even going to push into you, so you got no excuses. You don't have a skin, which means that you're not a true XM connoisseur like myself. But you are looking for the frags. It's 1. I'm disappointed. It's 1 kill. Not enough. You may be still in the lead in the round, but that should have been at least 2. And now you've left it on to Kaze. Oh, he's going to get the first tag. He's going to get the second. No, come on. Yeah, there we go. He needed to be traded there. I thought he was actually going to get a kill. Instead, both players left on a measly 27 HP. Flashbang through. Okay, it's going to make things a bit awkward for Advent, but not awkward enough. 16-1. I'm really looking forward to Dinko and Blair having to break this one down, because